I'm Ray.
And I'm Veronica.
And welcome to the Chick Lit Book Club podcast,
where we read a romance novel and then we talk about it. Today we're talking about A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall.
Sigh.
Alexis Hall.
Oh, we love you, Alexis Hall.
We adore Alexis Hall on this show.
We do.
We just do.
We do. It's a fact. It's whatever, like, what are the rules that come with, like with your, like, club or your whatever. It's, like, the mission statement or whatever. It's, like, one of them is...
like, your values or something.
Yes.
And, like, one
like,
of them is, like, we love Alexis Hall. Yeah,
yep.
Like, we wear pink on Wednesdays. We love Alexis
Hall. Exactly.
Yeah, like, that's just what it is.
It is. I mean, get over it if you don't like it.
Yeah, and I will not apologize.
No, absolutely not. No.
So anywho, hey, Ray.
Hey, Veronica. Hey, Vanessa Carlton.
Tell me something good.
So, this is, okay. One, I started I started last night. I started a Coen Brothers watch through of all the Coen Brothers because they are it's my favorite director set. So I'm very excited about that. Okay. But 2B3 went crazy with something happened on social media, and then we had all these like fucking listens, and I was like, "What's happening here?" So,
champagne problems.
Yeah, and caviar dreams, bitches.
Uh-huh. Are your diamond shoes too tight? Your wallet's too small for your 50s?
I'm fucking going to raid with listens, I guess. With listens. We're actually, like, I have to say, this next weekend I'm very excited about the movies we're watching. We're watching tribute to Memorial Day, so World War II inspired horror movies. So I'm very excited. But anyhow, that is not my bright spot. My bright spot
Okay.
is something I can't believe I'm gonna say this is my bright spot, but we're talking about, I mean, it's been a bad day. That's all we're going to say.
It's been a bad day.
It's been a really bad day. The one good spot in my day was when I had Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers movie from Disney on my television.
That is the most piss poor excuse for a bright spot I have ever heard.
I loved every fucking minute of it. And
okay, is it the new one? Because
it's the new one. It's the new one with like I hated the trailer. I was like, no, you get out of here, because that was like right in my sweet spot. I was like 8, 9 when Rescue Rangers came out, so I was like, that was like my jam.
Of course.
And so I'm like, no, you can get the fuck out of here with this. I loved every fucking stupid second of it, because it was like. At one point, like, Randy Marsh from South Park shows up at some point, and I mean, it's what you want in a stupid, like, 2-hour, just dumb throwback sort of movie. And it's like,
suitable for kids or no?
Yeah, I think a lot of it will go over kids' heads. I mean, nothing's like really, because at one point, part of the one big storyline is that Monterey Jack, who is voiced by Eric fucking Bana. I see you stop there drinking on that one. Yep.
I did stop drinking on that.
And the Incredible Hulk does the voice of fucking Monterey Jack.
Okay.
Which, it's funny because I'm like, I don't remember Monterey Jack being this Australian, but holy God, is he like, Australian, mate? Like, he's like all over the top. And also it's Eric fucking Bana. But like, he just went, I mean, he went all in, and I'm here for it.
He is real pretty.
He's gorgeous. I did text my lovely co-host Veronica and our friend Ween this weekend, saying how much, oh my fucking God, Liv Tyler is a goddamn goddess, because I watched The Incredible Hulk. Oh.
I actually brought her up the other day because I was talking about the movie Empire Records.
You know, when I was in grad school, back in
the beginning of time.
Yeah, 2003. I had pictures of her on my refrigerator because I, one, loved her, and two, like, wanted to be her. Like,
obviously.
I had, like, I didn't know I was bisexual at that point. Didn't know that, like, why did I like this woman so much? Huh. Yeah. I wonder why I was drawn to this gorgeous woman. Yeah.
Can't imagine why.
Liv Tyler's fucking hot. But anyhow.
Sexuality is fluid.
It is. So anyhow, I would recommend it. It's very you and Mr. Veronica will enjoy it wholeheartedly.
All right, I'm into it.
Yeah, you'll find it very funny.
Eric Bana is 53 years old.
He can jump on it whenever he'd like and twice on Sunday.
Yep. He is easy on the ojos.
Hey, Veronica.
What? Yeah.
Tell me something good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was actually having a pretty good week. First of all, we're recording on a Tuesday, which is abnormal for us. We usually do weekends. However, we like to record as quickly as possible after we have finished a book before it all flies out of our minds. And in this case, we needed to finish. We have A Lady for a Duke as an ARC, and the book comes out on May 24th, which is a Tuesday. And so we wrote a review and submitted to NetGalley to like fulfill our obligations. However, our episode will come out on the 31st, and we didn't want to wait 4 or 5 days until the weekend so that we could record when we would normally would.
Yeah, so not the regular weekend,
Right.
The weekend.
So we're doing this on a Tuesday. So things are a little wonky in and of themselves. However, I was having a pretty good week until 4 p.m. today. And then everything took a drastic turn.
Yeah, it did.
Thankfully, my family is safe, and I'm really grateful about that. Went and picked up my kid a few minutes early from school because I just wanted to squeeze the living crap out of her. But at any rate, the awesome thing that has happened in the past week then is that we got girlfriend a bike. And
oh, fun!
She is learning how to ride a bike with training wheels.
Oh, fun!
And she has gotten very good at it very quickly.
Nice.
It's a little terrifying. At one point, my husband was like, well, we have a gravel driveway. And so he was like, well, it's harder on a gravel driveway, right? Because it's not even and whatever.
Right.
And then, of course, our kid hopped on that. Was like, we'd just be on the neighbor's driveway. And I was like,
just spin. Oh, the fucking gravel went out. She's like, yeah.
Yep, just spun out right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we're not just going to hang out on the neighbor's driveway whenever we damn well please. And then I was like, listen, I also learned how to ride a bike on gravel, and I fucking survived. And then my husband looked at my daughter.
Everyone had a piece of gravel in their
their skin, just embedded.
Yeah.
And my
we also had that one asshole friend who said that's going to go into your heart. It could go into your bloodstream and go into your.
What the fuck is wrong with everyone?
I know.
So then my husband looked at my daughter and he said she also walked to school uphill both ways, and I was like,
in the snow. Yep, we did.
I was like, fuck you.
With fear of a fucking bear.
Yeah.
We did. Eat the biggest dick on the fucking planet.
Yep. So anywho, she is awesome.
She is awesome.
Learning how to ride her bike.
I love it.
She has a frozen bike, which is actually not the first choice, because the first choice was a Paw Patrol bike, which was cool. Actually, I kind of preferred it. However, I ordered it. It came to the house, and then I was like, motherfucker, this is too small for her.
Oh.
Because it was an age 1 to 4 bike. First of all, dear bike manufacturers, show me a 1-year-old that can ride a bike. 1-year-olds can't fucking walk. How in ever-loving fuck is a 1-year-old going to ride a bike?
Did it legit say 1-year-old to whatever?
It literally said age 1 to 4.
Well, maybe there's a weird, circus baby.
Sure. Yeah, we'll say that. So anyway, we had to return it and exchange it. They didn't have that bike in the larger size, but it's fine. She's cool with the frozen bike. She's into it.
Right?
Also, the pedals are snowflakes.
So if she falls, do you just tell her to let it go?
Yes.
Actually, you tell her, don't let it go. Hold on. I think of sometimes I think of my childhood, and I immediately go to fucking Stranger Things, because those kids riding those bikes. I mean, that was that. I how many times I fell fucking riding my bike nowhere. There's places I remember thinking back. Actually, it was not too long ago. I was thinking about there was this quarry that everyone all of our parents were like, don't drive don't ride your bikes down by the quarry. Where do you think we all went? Fucking down by the quarry, right? Like, I don't know how many times we all went down there. We're like, we're not supposed to be here. Like, if anything happens, we're going to be in super big trouble because we were down in the quarry and no one... I mean, like, it was awful. It was weird. It was like, probably they dumped bodies there or some horrible shit back there because, I mean, it's, you know, it was...
Oh, my fucking God.
I ever tell you about my grandparents' neighbor that was murdered? Anyhow, we'll talk about that off air. Look at my face. Fuck. My grandmother was on the news once. Anyhow, I got a quiz for you.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, cool. What? Just ID, face ID. Come on, it's me. All right, so this is called Let's Play the Hardest Round of Would You Rather with the classic rom-com tropes we all love. Would you rather fall in love with your enemy or fall in love with your best friend? I mean, I know this one.
Oh, I don't know.
Enemies to lovers.
I know enemies to lovers, but like enemies to lovers is awesome in fake life. I don't know that I would like it in real life. I think honestly I would say it like with your best friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather meet your soulmate on your first day of work or meet your soulmate out on a coffee run?
Coffee run.
Okay. Would you rather be stuck in a love triangle or be stuck in an on-again, off-again relationship? Oh, that's a tough one.
Ooh, I don't know. Threesome possibilities? Love triangle.
You Bruce Harem. I don't know if this is what we're supposed to be doing. So,
are you giving me your answers? No, you're
not. No, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be at the end. You're supposed to, like...
Okay, proceed.
Okay, no, they're great. Okay, this is just would you rather. So, like, for the first one, you 66% yes, agreed with you. 67% on the second one, and you lost. No, you 56% agreed with you. Would you rather?
Also, I think I won. Okay,
you win everything because you're amazing. Because you win. Why do you win? Because I win.
Because I win, and also if it's a love triangle, double the orgasms.
Well, I was actually thinking Big Daddy with Adam Sandler's Big Daddy. Why do you win? Why does he win? Because I win.
Because I win.
What do you want to eat, Frankenstein?
Movie. Also,
37
Sheryl
packages
Crow.
of ketchup.
Oh my God.
You heard the man.
Ass.
37 packages of ketchup. Scuba Steve.
Sheryl Crow does a cover of Sweet Child of Mine for that soundtrack.
Yes.
Perfection.
Yep. You call her Dr. Big Moose, Mickey. Anyhow, would you rather fall in love during the holiday season or fall in love while on a tropical vacation?
Holiday season.
Well, 70% agree with you. Would you rather get stuck in an elevator with your potential love interest or bump into them while carrying a huge stack of papers?
Huge stack of papers.
Only 21%.
Goes everywhere. They help you. It's beautiful. Elevator, you are stuck with them.
Well, as I texted you last week, it's quite the trope that everyone uses, isn't it? Some people use it more than others and steal from other people. Anyhow, would you rather pretend to date someone in a fake relationship or be in a real relationship, but you have to keep it a secret?
Fake relationship.
Agreed. Wow! We are in the minority with 37%.
Oh, well, those 37% of people might want to seek therapy.
Okay. Call people out. Call people out.
Secret relationships are not, like, that's nothing about that is healthy.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. If it's like an office romance, you probably want to keep it secret for a little while until you have to, like, go to HR and sign those forms. Everyone has to sign those forms, which I've never seen those fucking forms. I have no idea what they're fucking. No, they don't.
Seen those.
No. We've known a lot of people who've had relations.
I guess I could ask my current employer, but they'd also be like, "Wait, who are you having an office romance with? You don't even fucking live here."
This is you work from home. Myself.
I'll ask.
Myself.
They'll be like, what happened when you were here for a 36-hour period
and they're
of time?
like, here's the number for Talkspace.
Do you need an online therapist?
Yes.
For you.
And one of my last reviews, I said something about that. I was like, do you think Talkspace would sponsor us? Possibly. Maybe. Let's look into it. Yep.
I like it. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be a big city corporate person who falls in love with a small town person, or be a regular person who falls in love with a celebrity?
Option A, please.
We're still in the minority on that one, 31%. Would you rather...
I don't want to be in the public eye like that. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Would you rather your love interest turn out to be a secret billionaire, or your love interest turn out to be secret royalty?
Billionaire. I don't want to be royalty. That's not
72%. Yeah. Yep. Would you rather have a best friend who provides the comic relief, have a best friend who gives wise relationship advice?
Comic relief.
Yes, thank you. Okay, 61%. Thank you. Would you rather have parents who are just the fucking worst, or have a sibling who is more successful than you and the clear favorite?
I think at that point it's easier to have parents who are just the fucking worst.
We're in the minority of 23%.
Oh, okay.
Would you rather have your first kiss in the rain, or have your first kiss at midnight on New Year's Eve?
Rain.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Mr. Darcy. Would you rather find out the person you're dating is just doing it for a bet? Am I a bet? Am I a fucking bet? Or would find out the person you're dating is actually married? What?
Bet.
Bet. Yes, bet. I'll take a bet.
10 out of 10 bet. Yep.
Ween has never seen She's All That.
Fucking excuse me?
I want to start a Patreon just to make her have to watch She's All That.
She's gonna watch it with me.
Right?
She's gonna have to. We'll have a Zoom party.
Am I a fucking
bet?
Yeah. Hoover it. Yeah. Would you rather have multiple extremely hot people fighting for your affection, or have one person fight for your affection through multiple romantic gestures?
The latter. Multiple romantic gestures, yes.
Yeah, great. 70%. Would you rather, this last one, have someone confess their love for you in a grand romantic gesture, a GG? Or would you have someone confess their love for you after chasing you through the airport? One, you can't do that anymore.
You can't do that anymore. That's a fallacy.
I mean,
you can't get past security.
No.
So I'm gonna say, grand romantic gesture.
We're still the minority, 46%.
People are weird. You can't chase anyone through the airport anymore.
No. They
will literally tackle you to the ground and arrest you.
You have to have a ticket, so you're already paying like whatever it is for a ticket.
Now, I will say the show Friends did that properly, in that they made Ross buy a ticket.
Yeah.
To get through security.
Well, it was after September 11th. Everything changed after September 11th. Yeah, I mean, like, if you see...
It's almost like a massive thing happened that changed all of us, and then the government took action to make sure it never happened again. It's almost like something happened to prevent future things from happening. It's almost like it's possible.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, I was like, oh, it happened again in Britain, but that was Britain. Anyhow... And they caught that person before they got on the plane. So that happened. All right, I got a deck of cards.
I love it. Here, show me the deck of cards.
Show me your dick of cards. All right, so I'm just. Okay, so if anybody wants to follow us, follow our little steamy book.
Hell yes.
Steamy book sex position. Database.
Yep.
You can find it on our website. It's a spreadsheet. It's a database. It'll be a database at some point. It'll be an Excel spreadsheet at some point.
It's going to be an Access. We're going to put it in Access.
That's right. We're going to put it... Oh, I might. Don't fucking mess with me. I might.
Access.
I'm such a fucking nerd. I'm a database administrator. Yes, I will. I will do that. Yes, I actually added something recently.
It's called Steamy Book Sex Positions.
It is. And I actually just added a bunch of fucking books on there. So let's hope you got it up. That's what she said. So I'm going to pull a card. You can tell me if we don't come up with one. You can tell us which one. All right.
Our minds are the same as 13.
Oh, my God.
Okay, what? Oh, God. I'm scared.
5 out of 5. I'm just going to read the technique for you.
Do we still not know if that's difficulty or hotness?
We don't know.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to read the technique, and you can tell me what the name of it is, because I know you can tell me what the name of it is.
Okay.
Oh, right. David Attenborough. Okay. This classic position allows the couple to enjoy animalistic sex. For him to hit her G-spot better, the couple should experiment with leaning forward around 6 to 12 inches.
Wait, leaning forward?
Uh-huh. Both of them lean forward. 6 to 12 inches.
So he's behind her. Mm-hmm. So like standing, her bent over? Or are we talking doggy style?
It's called doggy style.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. There we
so
go.
just pick one. Just pick one from the list.
I mean, so apparently in Penelope Ward, the assignment, mark my words, E.L. Coslow. I mean, the thing is like, Dating Dr. Dill. It's also in Dating Dr. Dill.
It's fun when we have answers to that one. Yeah.
Also, A+ on that. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones off the top of my head. Like, I'm sure there are more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's getting more common.
Yeah.
In romance novels.
I remember the first time I read a novel that had that in, I was like, oh, I was young. I was probably like, I was an undergrad. Like, I remember reading one of my first, it might have been like a Joanna
Lindsay.
Yeah, one of those ones like, no, I don't think it was one of those, but like, it was like she looked at herself in the mirror and he was behind her, and I was like, oh, this is scandalous. And I'm like, now, like, well, what? He hasn't come on her face, so obviously, like, this isn't fucking hot.
God. I mean,
he didn't come on her stomach and, you know, whatever, and him running his hands through it, so obviously, you know.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
It did. Well, that's usually what happens. Yeah. Anyhow, so guess what? We're going to come back and we're going to talk about this book, right?
Very excited about that. Yeah, so let's do that. We will take a brief respite. Mm-hmm. And
we'll be back in two. What?
And we're back.
We're back, bitches. Boo. I'm very excited, as you would say, to talk about this book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so am I. As we said, it's called A Lady for a Duke. It comes out on May 24th, 2022.
What's Dan saying? That's to you. That's Tuesday to you.
Tuesday to you. At any rate, I'm happy to read the description if you are okay with that.
I love when you read the description.
Oh, how lovely.
I do.
Okay. A lush, sweeping queer historical romance from the best-selling author of Boyfriend Material, perfect for fans of Netflix's Bridgerton, Evie Dunmore, and Lisa Kleypas. When Viola Carroll was presumed dead at Waterloo, she took the opportunity to live, at last, as herself. But freedom does not come without a price, and Viola paid hers with the loss of her wealth, her title, and her closest companion, Justin de Vere, the Duke of Gracewood. Only when their families reconnect years after the war does Viola learn how deep that loss truly was. Shattered without her, Gracewood has retreated so far into grief that Viola barely recognizes her old friend and the lonely, brooding man that he has become. As Viola strives to bring Gracewood back to himself, fresh desires give new names to old feelings. Feelings that would have been impossible once and maybe impossible still, but which Viola cannot deny, even if they cost her everything, all over again.
And I would just like to say this is actually our start of Pride Month.
Yes.
We're starting a little early. I love it.
We're starting it a day early, and we're very excited.
Yes. And also, like, yeah, so yes, that's mostly that's what I want to say. And also, like, to suspend disbelief. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with most historical romances, you have to suspend disbelief.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sarah McLean, I mean, I think going in, like, Sarah McLean, you just go and be like, okay, I know. I mean, like, nothing against her. It's like those women are, like, fucking ballsy as shit.
Yeah.
You go into...
Same with Tessa Dare.
Yeah,
Like, you
go
look
into
at,
them,
like,
you're like,
her Spindle
yeah.
Cove series, like, all those women are really ballsy.
Independent women who have their
which
own
is
businesses.
why they're
Yeah.
literally living in a place that is called Spindle Cove, but it's nicknamed Spinster Cove.
Well, I mean, and Joanna Shupe, who I'm going to recommend one of her books. All of the women, it's also like Regency, or sorry, it's Victorian, but in Gilded Age actually. But still, like these women in England still couldn't own land.
Right.
So I mean, they're shop owners. They're like strong women. So yes, you have to like suspend disbelief on every corner that you read. I mean, I am the historical romance woman of the two of us. So.
Yep.
And I will
That you are.
That I am. But loved.
Yes. This is really a fascinating book in that, first of all, you and I both, when we saw that Alexis Hall was coming out with a historical romance, you and I were both like, yes, we are on board. Thank you.
Yeah, my book's coming tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what she said.
Ray pre-ordered the book, so she's getting like a special edition
Alexis
tomorrow.
signed it, yeah.
Oh my God.
He signed something. I don't know. There's a signature somewhere.
So exciting. But then we got approved for this ARC, which we were not expecting. So we were able to read it, which, like, honestly, an honor. Like, I was so excited.
Yeah.
You and I both shrieked when we realized that we got approved for this ARC. So
Also, the cover is gorgeous.
it really is. Although I won't lie, I was a little confused as to why she was in yellow on the cover.
It's very Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yes, it is. But like he talks about her being in blue so frequently
And
that I
he's
was
in
just
blue.
surprised. Oh, you're right.
But I think it's Beauty and the Beast. I think that's what it's
I think
supposed
that's
to be.
fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because even
I was
her
happy she
hair
had
is
a
very
choker
Beauty
on.
and the... Well, you know why? We know why the
I know.
choker. But I think even the hairstyle, I think it's very
you're
Belle.
right. Yeah, okay, I get it. It's very cute. I like it a lot. Also,
As do I.
her dress is amazing. I mean, let's just be real. Oh, God. So when the book begins, there is a trigger warning at the beginning. More so as like a just FYI for people who... This is a book about a trans woman. And written by a queer author. And so it's very possible that this will attract maybe trans people. Like, this is a book that features trans representation. And so at the beginning, Alexis Hall says, like in an author's note or something, you know, FYI, there's a lot of dead naming happening here. Mm-hmm. And it's not malicious. It's not intentional. There is nothing like that happening. It's just that the person, Marley, died at Waterloo. Mm-hmm. And that is what everyone believes.
Right.
Is that Marley died at Waterloo.
Right.
However, and Marley, in very many senses, is dead. Mm-hmm. And Viola Carroll lives. So when Gracewood is talking about his friend Marley, he thinks Marley is dead, and he does not know that Viola Carroll is formerly Marley.
Correct.
So there's no malice happening there. But I appreciate that Alexis Hall still made that note to just be like, hey, just so you know, this is a thing that's going to happen. But once people know, and even once Gracewood knows,
Yeah.
he never hesitates to call her Viola.
No.
At no point does he try to call her Marley. Ever.
No, and I really liked from the beginning when Viola refers to herself, like as the story talks about her history in, because we're talking about the Napoleonic Wars, so we're talking about Napoleon and Waterloo.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's the Battle of Waterloo, which was fought on on Sunday, 18th of June, 1815, near Waterloo in the United Kingdom of the Netherlands.
Most of anybody who likes Regency England, like Regency history, historical romance, this is like rote for you guys. Like, you all know this is what it is. Like, when they say like they're battling Napoleon, this is what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So when Viola is talking about herself fighting, she is talking about herself. She does not use.
She's not using male pronouns.
She is not. So it's, you have to you do a little bit of like fancy work, but you figure it out, and you're like, okay, you're cool with it. Like it's not like it's like it's hard to decipher or anything. Like there's no confusion of what's happening. You learn very quickly. You catch on very quickly what's happening.
Yeah, agreed. And they say, I believe Alexis says the year in which it's happening. It probably is sometime around
1814,
like 18.
I believe.
Well, if the battle happened in 1815, it's probably like 1817.
Could be. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah. Usually, these usually
but like early-ish 1800s.
It's interesting. Like, I've read so many books, obviously, for Regency historical romances, and so many of these characters have the same thing that fucking poor Justin's going through. It's like this PTSD, which we know now is PTSD.
That's what it's called, but back then,
right?
And we'll get into that later. But
because
it's.
Yeah, I mean, like we went through it. Like we're starting to see they went through it in 1814, 18 through 17, and then we went through it in 1860, 61 through 64 here. So of having a great world war where you're fucking getting killed by cannon fire is pretty rough.
And we've dealt with PTSD on multiple occasions since then because war after war after war.
But no one had a term for it, or no one could actually deal with it. Oh,
sure, yeah. It wasn't really like termed until in Vietnam they called it shell shock.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's interesting, like where you're thinking, these poor gentlemen, especially if they're coming back with a limp, missing limbs, just. In fact, one of the books I was reading, this book too, I remember there was another book I was reading. It was very similar where it's fireworks and people think the hero thinks there's gunshots. Oh, yeah. And so, like, that's just such a thing that now would be like, well, that's obviously PTSD. Obviously. But yeah.
There was, I remember, obviously many years ago, when Across the Universe came out. Do you know what I'm talking about? The movie with the Beatles music?
Yep.
I think the brother of one of the main characters in that book goes to Vietnam and comes back, and someone asks him how he's doing, and he says, "Oh, I'm good, from the neck down." And my mom, I distinctly remember her leaning over to me and saying, that's what they used to say to the boys after Vietnam, that they said that they were good from the neck down. Because their minds were not okay. And it's fucking common sense that, like, anytime we ask people to, like, go to a war zone and A, watch people die, and B, probably kill people, you're going to come home with, like, that is not a normal thing to experience. That is not a normal thing that our brains are just like, oh, yeah, I killed someone the other day. Like, that's not okay. Our brains have trouble with that.
Yeah.
Because we know it's wrong.
I have a relative who... his brother died in Vietnam. And he said, he goes, honestly, with where his brain would have been, he's probably in a better place.
There are a lot of Vietnam veterans that have struggled with mental health issues, and not shockingly so.
Right.
I hope that with the age that you and I are, our peers, I suppose, were in Iraq and Afghanistan. So, our generation has enough to deal with there, but I hope that at this point we have recognized it enough to understand that it's a thing. And I really appreciate, like, every single veteran on any social media channel who is speaking out about it, because I think it's so helpful to normalize it.
Yeah.
So that other people feel better about also speaking out and getting the help that they need.
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking, like, adding to what we're, for this book in particular, what we're talking about is, so Viola lived as a man for many years and was best friends with Gracewood, Justin DeVers. And when she died, quote unquote, on the battlefield, she was
terribly injured.
and to the point where it was like they were figuring it was fatally wounded, but she was saved by a French family and brought back to health, and became the woman that she'd always felt inside. She said she was always living a lie before then, and always felt like this was her like one chance to live who she really felt like she was.
And the family that rescued her, she said, they lived differently.
Yes, because there were also
one of them at least was trans, like her, and so
she didn't say which one, but
right. She just said that one of them lived differently. I forget exactly how she phrased it, but the gist that I got from it was like one of them was trans and was living differently than they were raised to, or the society would expect them to.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of assumed it was
the husband. I thought it was
that it was a trans woman.
Yeah.
Just because of like that was the easiest leap for me to make, where like this person who is a trans woman then sees an example and is like, oh my God, it's not that far-fetched.
I thought it was the other, because I was thinking, yes, because she brings up, I don't want to spoil it because that's one of my things we talk about later, a little bit later, but it was like postmodern Prometheus, and so I don't want to bring
All right, well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, you're
Alexis,
not wrong.
Please write into the show.
I mean, we would love to talk to you in general.
We would
and
love
your top
to talk
hats.
to you.
I love
my
it.
God, I would die. Okay. Does that kind of sum up like what's going on?
So where we start the story is that Viola. We
don't know. We talked about it before the show. V
is heading out with so V is a companion to her sister-in-law Louisa, right?
Louise. I think it's just Louise.
And
her brother Badger, whose name is
Badger.
Bartholomew, Bartholomew,
and he's taken over the title of
is it Duke? I forget what his title was.
Marchand. Oh, no, he's Marquis. He's Marquis, isn't he?
I don't remember. But regardless, he takes over the title and the land and the privileges and the whatever
because
it all is.
Because in general, like, Marley is dead.
Yeah, Marley is dead, and and really, like, they all thought that Marley was dead way prior to. So
we were talking 2 years after.
V comes back after like a year or so.
Well, the story starts 2 years after.
Oh yeah, the story starts 2 or 2.5 years like after Waterloo, but V came back like after a year or so after she was recuperated from her injuries, living with this other couple, and essentially is like comes back to her family, the only family that she has, and
they accept her.
And Badger and Louise are like, okay, cool, thank you.
We're
so glad you're alive.
Yeah.
You can now be my lady's companion, because otherwise what would she have been? Like they had to create some sort of story.
I mean, exactly, you and I have an issue. I have an issue with this, but yes,
I know, I get it, and I totally understand that. But like they had to create some sort of story where she was like accepted to be living in that house, because otherwise, who the fuck was she that just like rolled up?
Honestly, like, if we want to get into it, like, people would be like, where's that money going? Why is the money going to this random companion? Like, all of a sudden, like, was she going to get a job? No.
Yeah, right. I mean,
it would make more sense if she was a cousin. I mean, never, let's,
okay, that's fine. We'll talk about it later.
Yep.
But anyway, so, Badger and Louise already have a son. They call him Little Bartholomew.
Little Bart.
And so even Little Bartholomew is like,
he calls her.
Cool.
He calls her Aunt Viola.
That's my Aunt Viola.
Which I was like, how are you gonna explain that later?
I mean, but she even brings that up at one point, that like Bartholomew didn't get weird about it.
She doesn't tell him not to, though.
No, but like she says like he doesn't even get weird about it. Like he just accepted like, oh, this is my Aunt Viola.
Well, he's so little. I mean, like he would know.
Oh, of course, no, and I think it's an important thing to note also that children are not born hating anything.
No.
Children are taught to hate people.
As South Pacific told us, you have to be carefully taught. Thank you very much.
You do. I mean, hate is
you do,
taught.
though.
It's
not
taught.
It's not a learned thing. Like, yeah.
It is not. I mean, you have to be taught to hate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, aside
or
from
ingrained,
something like...
It's a learned thing. It's not ingrained. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You're not born with hate.
No.
Unless it's something like, I tried green beans and I fucking hate them. Like, it's not that. It's like, you have to be taught to hate people.
Yeah.
Or certain people. Or people who are different from you.
You have to be carefully taught. Yep.
You do. So the fact that his parents did not instill hate in him, he didn't care. And children are extremely accepting. I mean, extremely accepting until they are told not to be.
This whole book, there's not many people who are like hating in this book. It's a very accepting book.
It's a very accepting book. Even like the quote villains of the book,
right,
have their own issues.
They have some issues. They have
and not
issues.
And I don't mean that like they have kinks and that's fine. I'm not judging those.
No.
But like they have issues. They need to remedy in their heads that have nothing to do with the kinks. They're just like...
Again, it's one of those points where you have to suspend your disbelief. Like, or suspend your belief. Like, you'd be like, okay, fine, I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, you just got to roll with it.
You got to roll. You got to roll. Just roll it. Rolling
with your homies. Dearest Ray.
Yes.
Would you like to discuss with me... Well, first of all, please... tell the lovely people listening to this podcast how we deal with reviews on the show.
So what we do is we do a compliment sandwich. So the top bun is our pro. I'm really hungry, but I'm good with that low carb. The top bun is our first pro, almost like con, pro, where we talk about something we liked about the book. The middle is our meat. It's a con, something we didn't like so much about the book. And the bottom, we try to end on a high note, is our last pro, something, again, we liked about the book. Mm-hmm. So, the bottom bun.
I'm interested in a tuna melt.
Oh my... Okay, I want to kiss you right now just because you know what a tuna melt is. My mother and my sister did not know what a tuna melt was.
Who doesn't know what a tuna melt is?
Thank you!
Bread, tuna salad, cheese, melt. I mean,
right.
What the fuck?
No. I
also add sunflower seeds. You will not be sad.
Oh, I like that. I've gone to lunch with both of these women, the same place, and I was like, the tuna melt's really good. They're like, I've never had a tuna melt. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Tuna melt's really good. So, mwah, I love you. There's a reason I love you so much. Anyhow.
Well, we are friends. Thank Christ.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, would you like to go first, my darling?
Yes. So my top bun is Alexis Hall's writing. This is gorgeous. Like, I have some issues with the book. I'm not gonna lie. Sure. I have some issues just because of it. Again, the suspension of disbelief. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm such a weirdo with history and all that kind of stuff. But this book is so fucking gorgeous. Like, he's such a beautiful writer. I just want to read I want to read quotes. It's what I want to do for my whole thing of like the prose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, there is more between us than the rudiments of worldly expectation. My soul calls to yours and yours to mine, and that will never change. I'm just gonna keep reading. Talking about postmodern Prometheus. What is this? Viola asked, retrieving the fallen book. Gracewood looked slightly abashed. Something Miranda wanted. I had thought I had better read it, didn't sure it was suitable. And is it? The title page proclaimed the work, the third volume of Frankenstein, or the postmodern Prometheus. So I love this, and I love this edition because Mary Shelley, in fact, was trying to get, in particular, a same-sex couple out of England at a certain point, and was forging documents to get them out of England.
Oh, Mary Shelley.
Yeah, right? And so it was, Frankenstein has always been known as this kind kind of like, it was a gay anthem, but like
Right.
this, like it's the otherness. It's the like what, like you're not the same. You're different as everyone else. And so she wrote this she herself had a, history's kind of like, meh, but they probably think she has a lesbian relationship. We think that Mary Shelley possibly was bisexual. So, the fact that she herself like had these relationships and she wrote this novel that was like, yeah, guess what? We all aren't the same. It ain't gonna work, is beautiful. And that he adds this here, I think is just, it's just
I really liked that.
kiss.
Yes, I liked that he incorporated Frankenstein.
He says it's Prometheus. It's like it's
right.
postmodern. It's Prometheus. It's like it's the epitome of what we all should be, but it's not. I mean, we're not. We're not.
Right.
We're the Prometheus of what we should like the epitome of what godliness is or manliness is. Oh, right. I love it.
Right, and that's such a major theme of the book anyway that I thought it was like really perfect that they incorporated it. Can I read another one?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is like one of my absolute fucking favorite parts of the entire book. He is essentially, he's like, I mean, I guess this isn't really giving anything away. He's proposing to her. And he says, I know madness, and this is not it. A word from you, a glance, and I would lay all I have, all I am, or at the very least, what's left of me at your feet. And someday, when you're ready to hear me, to trust me, I shall. And then you can have me, or not, as it pleases you. I could never marry you, Gracewood. The world, forgive my language, but his eyes were as steady on hers as the clasp on her wrist, his mouth suddenly full of smiles. Fuck the world. I will change it for you if I have to.
Can I read you another one? Can I read you, like, it might be something that you actually use for possibly your pro, but I would say he shaped the words to close her mouth as if each of them was its own kiss, a private prayer. I love you as a man loves a woman, but we know that love is not bound by such narrow terms. So instead, let me simply tell you that I love you. I love you with the unfading flame of my friendship, with every drop of ardor in my blood. I love you with my soul, and some reserve their faith for absent gods. I love you as I believe in what is right and hope for what is good. Oh my God, I'm going to start crying.
I know, seriously.
I love you with everything I am and ever was, and and if you will only let me, every day that comes in every self that I could ever be. The other one I want to read. Oh my God, there's just so many I want to read. I want to read everything.
I know. I would read like half this book to you aloud if I could.
I know. For God's sakes, the one that made me laugh was, or not one made me laugh. It was like, so now I just was like, yes, perfect. That did not seem to convince Miranda. I can only speak for myself, but I do not in general break things when I'm fine. She does not like amberglass, put in Lady Lilimere, and she's worried telling you will make you like him more. Miranda tilts her head in visible confusion. Why would she believe I think well of someone on that basis? Novels. Somehow Lady Marley contrived to make the words sound deeply ominous. They teach us to make heroes from the villains. I'm like, yep.
Enemies to lovers.
Enemies to lovers, exactly.
There's one line that I loved so much. If only he had trusted her and listened to his heart instead of his hurt. I loved that line. At one point, she says, what? She asks, her voice a scratch of nothing in the house that was no longer hers. What right do you have to expect anything from me? His eyes, clear now, all their blues released, sought hers as clumsily, as desperately as an outstretched hand. None. After how I treated you, the things I said to you, I know I have none. But Viola, oh God, Viola, I cannot bear to lose you again.
So I've got what I'll make you laugh. So this is at one of the balls, and it's between Badger and Louise, whatever. Louise. I want to call her Louisa. I want to call her Louise. I mean, you're an A and an E. Come on. Lady Marley looked a little startled at a... Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go a little faster. Lou Bear, because they call her Lou Bear. Badger was determinedly pushing his way through the crowds to join them. I saw you taken against your fan, so I brought you another. I handed her a new one with proud flourish, and I was wondering if I could tempt you into something a little seemly. Lady Marley looked a little startled. At a ball? Not that unseemly. You clarified quickly. I was wondering if you'd like to dance with me. Oh, Badger! Louise paused to control her laughter. What are you talking about? Nobody dances with their spouse. Yet, but nobody else is married to you. Well, no, because that would be bigamy, which is a crime. Also, why would I want to be married to more than one person? I'm quite happy as we are. He gazed at her with none of his usual vagueness. Just those absurd blue-purple eyes, and he smiled only for his wife. Then dance with me, Lou Bear. I refuse to spend another moment in the company of people I like less than you. Every character, like you like all of the characters, like
except the ones you're not supposed to like.
Exactly.
There's another one that I really like. They're talking to someone who is like villainous. My recommendation is that you give serious consideration to heading down to the Thames and drowning your head in a bucket of eels.
Nice. Is this I'm going to put it in the chat. I think I remember what this person was, but I want to say, is it this person?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's she can burn in hell.
Yeah, she can. She gave him the lightest of pushes. Where is your logic now? At your feet, clearly, as I am. Oh, there's also a moment where Miranda is trying... So Miranda is Grace Wood's sister. Yeah. And that's a whole thing that we don't need to get into. But, like, Grace Wood is suffering, as we discussed, from severe PTSD and has essentially been neglecting his sister. Not on purpose. It's just that, like, she's 17 now. Since she was, about 15, he has been really struggling. Yeah. So it's like a pretty pivotal point in her life. Yeah. And he is really struggling. Oh, and their parents are dead. So, like, there's no one else. There's no one else to help her.
I mean, on either side,
her mom died, like, in childbirth. And thankfully, their dad is dead because their dad was a terrible douchebag. Yep. So at any rate, her dance card is like full, right?
Because she's fucking gorgeous.
Because she's 17 and beautiful and also funny 17. Also funny as hell. Like, she's funny. She's the one.
We're gonna get there.
Okay. At some point, she's trying to like read her dance card to see like who's next, and she says,
"Oh my god, are you doing the one? Oh my god, okay, go on. Go on.
Do you want me to wait?
No, go for it.
Okay.
She says, wait. You do it. Let's do it on mine, and you do it.
Okay, we'll wait. Okay. At any rate, this book, it's so beautiful. And also, we're just blending into my top one at this point, which is Grace Wood, because Alexis Hall can write a hero that is like, holy fucking shit, is this person complicated as hell? And I love this person. I love this person so much, like, because I think they're so relatable.
Right, because I think I wrote to you and I said, there's so many facets here. Like, we're dealing with a person who has to make sense of, he has to divorce his former friend from his current love interest. Also look back and say, did I love my former friend? Right. I think I did. Yeah. And then, like, I know I love this person now. I mean, that's a lot to go through. I mean, like, not that Viola, like not discounting what Viola's going through, but like you're putting a lot on somebody who has their trajectory in life set.
Yeah. And really, Viola has had a couple years to get used to this mindset. Right. Whereas Grace Wood has had like no time.
Right, because we also didn't say that, but she's like, she hasn't seen him in 2 years. He thinks she's dead, and she's like, it's, I mean, I'm gonna spoil a little bit. It's halfway through the book before you find out, like, before she, like, spoils that she's like, FYI.
I mean, he figures it out. He recognizes her.
Oh my God,
that's what it comes down to, is that he's just...
scene is just...
Oh, that scene is heartbreaking. That scene is so painful. I mean, it is so fucking painful. And it's painful on both sides. And the thing is, neither of them are wrong. You know, like, he is blindsided.
But he's respectful. That's what I like about it. It's like, he's so fucking respectful the whole time. Like, he could just be like, you could think of the most horrible things that he could say to her at this time, and he doesn't. He's just like, the thing is, he says, he's like, it's kind of like, you're like, right. So, Viola, do you have an answer for this? Right.
Yeah, and he never stops calling her Viola. He never stops referring to her as a she. Mm-hmm. But he, at one point, he ends up looking at her, and she knows immediately that he has recognized her by, like, a specific physical feature of hers. And then it all really, like, falls into shambles quickly, and he is, like, elated that his friend is alive.
Right.
But is so angry that he has been made to believe that his friend is dead for the last 2.5 years, when that is not the case. And he's mad at her for not telling him, either prior to Waterloo or after, just coming back and being like, hey, I'm not dead. But
which it hurt, because I was thinking, like, oh my God, but if you had gone to him.
Of course. And the thing is, like, that's, I think in my opinion, that's very intentional on Alexis Hall's part, that like, we'll never know the answer to that. And neither of them will ever know the answer to that. However, I completely understand that she would not have felt comfortable doing that.
No, I mean,
especially in that time.
She made a huge, like, sacrifice, or like a huge bet by going to Barney.
By going back to Badger and Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was just fortunate that she rolled up on that doorstep and they were like, yeah, of course we love you. We're so grateful that you're alive. Yeah. You know, I mean, that could have not gone that way very easily. It could not go that way in 2022.
Right.
So, like, that's, you know, it's kind of a big deal.
There's a reason why Boys Don't Cry is still like, okay.
The thing is also is that, and she says this multiple times, like, she didn't realize how poorly he was faring. She assumed that he would have come home from the war.
Well, she hadn't heard anything.
She hadn't heard anything. She figured he would come home from the war, that he would be fine, he would move on with his life, get married, have kids, carry on his line, do all that shit. And then what happens is that Louise, because they're family friends, the Marleys and the Gracewoods are family friends, Louise has known Miranda for many years, and so Miranda writes to Louise, and Louise cannot mind her own business for anything. She cannot, and believes she's always right. So she is like, we need to go get Miranda, because she's 17 and it's time for her to have a season. It's time for her to meet a husband and get married and move out of the house. And they gather from the letter that Gracewood is not well.
Right, because she says something like, I sleep all the day. The talk of laudanum comes up.
Yeah. So they end up going, Louise basically is like,
just come with me and we're going to figure it out.
Yeah, she's like, just come with me. We'll figure it out. We'll see what's going on. But she's not forthcoming entirely with Viola. No. She basically says, like, we need to go get Mira. But really what she's doing is trying to convince, like, underhandedly convince Viola to fix Gracewood, or, like, pull him out of whatever he's experiencing.
She's the only one who can't.
Right. And for her part, Viola is 1,000% against this from the start, because she doesn't, she wants to be protective of herself, which she should be, but also she doesn't want to get there and cause additional pain for Gracewood.
Right, because like he's trying to. It's like one of those like he's trying to move on. He's trying to like make amends, or like trying to like bury his friend mentally and emotionally, and say like I'm cutting ties with my friend.
Yep.
Who has been my best friend since almost pretty much birth.
Yeah, and he feels a lot of guilt. Like he believes that it's his fault that Marley is dead.
Right.
That he convinced Marley to enter into service. That he's the reason Marley was at Waterloo at all. That he's the reason Marley was going out into the front lines as opposed to staying behind like Gracewood had. I mean, he blames himself for every single moment that Marley may have suffered during the war.
We also hear the L word a lot before even the whole revelation comes up to be.
That he loved Marley?
Yes.
Yeah.
We hear that a number of times where like, I loved him.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
which
is, abnormal for that time. But they were so close. The fact that they were so close is mentioned multiple times.
Right. So I keep diverting from your pro.
No, but Gracewood is my fucking pro. I mean, the thing is, like, let me see where I left off with my quotes here. The thing about Gracewood is,
he's so fucking forgiving and so accepting and so...
He really is. And I don't want to, like, bleed too far into my bottom bun, but, like, Gracewood recognizes my friend is alive. I don't care what my friend looks like currently.
No.
Or what my friend is calling themselves.
No.
I am so fucking grateful that this other soul that I have connected to is alive.
I think it's so important that he is so attracted to Viola beforehand. Mm-hmm. Like he says, like,
yeah, I think so too.
Beautiful. Like there's a
he
scene
proposes to her before he realizes.
Yeah,
who
we
she
will
is.
not get into the one scene, but it is fucking like gorgeous. Like
it's the steamiest Alexis Hall scene I've read.
On the beach?
Oh no, sorry.
No, that's what I meant. I meant on the beach. Is the beach where
that is really
he's
intense.
He's like it's like it's the precipice. It's where it's gonna.
Yep.
He's like he realizes at the same time, like, right after he's already just spilled his fucking guts, and he's in like you're leading up to and what I love about this book too is it's dual perspective, so you get to see his fucking thing.
Yep.
And like he just is. He's there. He's there before she is, and I love
at least before she's willing to express it. I mean, yeah.
I'm laughing because and suddenly she felt capable of courage again. I love you. I love when you're arrogant, and I love when you're kind, and I love you when you're both at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he's just. Oh, he's like. Also, he's missing a leg. So that's the other thing, too.
Well, he's not missing a leg. His leg is, like, severely damaged.
No,
he's not gone.
No, he's missing a leg. They amputated part of his leg.
No, it's not. They cut away part of it. It's not gone.
He's missing a leg.
No, he's not.
He is.
No, he's not. He says, like, watch my leg.
No. The whole thing with the whole, like, gel and stuff? That's what that is. He's got a fake leg.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
Really? I don't know. I didn't get that. I thought that he had at one point he just at one point she says something about like the carved muscle away.
I see now. I've read it as like they actually amputated his leg.
Oh, this is fascinating.
All right, keep going. I'm a little look.
Here, you look that up. Here's another quote. He says, Viola, we know each other. His shoulder was a ghost of warmth, not quite touching her own. We have always known one another. When I was lost, you brought me back to myself. No one could have done that but you. There is more between us than the rudiments of worldly expectation. My soul calls to yours and yours to mine. That will never change. Did you already read that? I forget. Even when she is like really resisting the connection that they feel, She says, "Oh, stop," she cried, shocking herself, but relieved in some way that she was not in tears. "This is worse." Gracewood tensed beside her. "I'm sorry. What can I do? What do you need from me?" "I need," she was on her feet now, "you to stop pretending this is simple. With all your talk of hearts and souls, you don't know how it feels for me to live in a body that has never felt like my own. You've not seen the days when I can barely stand myself. You think we can go back, that I can be your perfect, wonderful friend again, and that it will be exactly as it was. But why are you laughing at me?" "Because you have it so wrong, Viola." He was no longer laughing, but his mouth was still soft. Soft as it had only ever been for her, with his wealth of undared smiles. "Marley was a pain in the arse. I loved him dearly, but he was moody, reckless, impatient,
Yes.
short-tempered, notoriously sharp-tongued, merciless to those he thought foolish, and unforgiving of any who crossed him." Viola swallowed. That does sound, and I actually don't know what the word is because of the stupid way that the screen captured. That does sound, oh shit, where'd you go? She says something to the effect of like, "That does sound right. Like, that tracks." Like, that's essentially what she's saying. But Gracewood is so like,
That does sound like him?
does sound
No, it doesn't like me. She had no idea how to finish this sentence. "I don't want to go back." Gracewood reached for his cane and struggled upright. "I want to go forward, and I'm not looking for perfect, only for you." I can't find it. There's nothing. I put leg, and there's like nothing. So it could be amputated leg. It could not be. Who knows?
I thought there was, hang on, because I just took like screenshots. I thought there was a moment where like she describes his leg, and I thought that I read like that there were carved out parts to avoid amputation. Like that was the impression that I got.
See, and I got it just because like he was talking about how like he was trying to find her, and he was dragging his leg, and he's like, they were trying to get me to amputate my leg.
Right,
and
but
I thought
I don't
like
think
at
he
some
did.
point, I thought he did, but maybe I mean, why would he have? What, I don't know. Who knows? Why would he have oil? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, just because you like it.
I assumed it was like, I guess I equated it to something with like a numbing agent, like maybe like biofreeze or like something.
I don't think so.
That would have like pain relieving qualities for his leg. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not missing a limb, so I don't know.
True. How did you even search in NetGalley? I don't know how to do that.
I'm on Kindle, so
God damn it. Okay.
because we're on my account because I'm media.
Your media.
I mean, I would read the whole fucking book to you if I could.
Yeah, obviously. So anyway, as per usual,
Yes.
Alexis Hall writes a really amazing hero, and Gracewood is no exception. Gracewood is absolutely 100% willing to give up anything and everything to be with Viola, as Viola is.
The epilogue and the whole like ending is just like,
okay, hold please.
perfect.
I will get to that. Let me just.
Are we
gonna?
We don't want to spoil.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to spoil.
Fine.
Don't spoil. Don't spoil.
Fine.
Because there's so much going into this. Like, she has angst because she's like, I can't give him children.
Yeah.
I can't legally be married to him.
Mm-hmm.
So we should probably let it go.
Yeah.
Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Just put on some wisdom.
Let it be. Oh God. Yeah. So anyway, fine.
Should we talk about our cons?
I guess.
I mean, both of our cons are the same.
I think they're similar. Yeah.
So my con is this book is fucking a month, guys. This book
is
long.
480-ish pages.
And
it's long. It's borderline Zapata length.
Yeah, it's in the pacing's rough. The pacing's a little rough.
Yeah. The beginning is real slow, and the end is real fast.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden halfway through, Alexis is like, "Oh shit, I gotta finish this book." Like it's like, okay, well, that first part where no one was doing fucking shit, let's figure it out. But yeah, it's not evenly paced.
Yeah, it definitely had some issues in that regard.
I mean, again, I will reiterate the issue of, and it's your own thing. If you're if you are a historical romance lover, you're just gonna have to suspend your disbelief because, again, it was illegal to be gay in England until 1967.
Yeah, I mean, there's a significant element of that.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that was most intriguing to me about this book was like, okay, you have a trans woman pre-hormone times, right?
That's the other part.
This person is not taking hormones,
right?
How are they hiding?
Exactly. I mean, thought it was like, how are they like they're making dresses for her? Because somebody's got to, like, are you gonna trust somebody like a modiste to come in here who knows that she is trans?
I don't know. Is she wearing a chemise the entire time? Is there any way to cover it up? I don't know.
She's wearing a chemise, but she's saying like it's all down to the corset. I'm like, well, agreed, but at the same time, is like, you have to people on staff who are okay with, like they're gonna know. I mean, like, because I thought, I'm like, he's a duke, she's a duchess. There's gonna be people who literally bathe these two people. Like, there's not like she's not taking a bath, people bathe them.
Okay, so in that regard, I know you don't love the ladies' companion thing, but in that regard, maybe
that's the other thing. Yeah,
maybe it's best that she's a ladies' companion because she wouldn't have like servants the way that like a cousin might.
They get married. She's a duchess.
Well, I know that, but like before.
Agreed. That's the other issue I have with this, guys, is that I hate the trope of the companion or the governess or the blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, it would never happen. Unfortunately, I love it. I love the thought of it. But it would never happen. It wouldn't, because they wouldn't marry someone that far down in because their companions are servants level, are staff level,
right?
So, I mean, all you got to do is make her a cousin. That's all you got to do.
I know, but if you make her a cousin, then is she getting bathed by servants?
No, but you can. Well, yes, but you can still say the same thing as a companion. Like, yes, you can say like she's. You know, she can do it herself. She's fine with herself. She's she's
accustomed to doing it on her own or whatever.
Exactly. Like, so I read I
don't want anyone to bathe me, first of all.
No, oh God, no. So there was another novel I read. It's a part of a trilogy. I actually wrote a review on it. So if you want to go read a review on it,
Ray's reviews are so good.
Dukes do it better. That's the third in the series. But the second one deals with, at some point, it's a woman living like a man. And she is like, everyone thinks she's a dude. And at some point, she marries someone and they're living a married life. I mean, her wife knows that she's not a man, obviously.
Right.
But like, it's to the point where you're like, in this is an aspect where she's like, I can handle it myself. I'm good. I can take a bath. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Part of it, I think, is historically the time and how easy it is the ease the ease of men and women at that time too. Like,
yeah,
it was easier for women if they were going to be men as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, it was easier to hide in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, you're not hiding like this, like Viola's hiding her Adam's apple. I mean, that's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
And her hands. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that she's very self-conscious about her hands, like not being,
that really
like
early
feminine
on.
enough, Yeah. It's one of the reasons she like almost never takes her gloves off.
I mean, it's the biggest, like talk about like having hands like a man, like that's what it is. I mean, like, yeah. So
yeah, like any part of her, she's very conscious of any part of her that can be perceived as masculine.
And I just wonder, like, they don't talk about her changed voice, because it's just like,
yeah,
but her voice would be masculine.
She'd have to be intentionally pitching her voice.
Because now we have hormones that bring your voice level down. Mm-hmm. So.
Right. None of that would have been happening at this point.
We're talking about suspension of disbelief, so.
Yeah. I mean, but again, like, okay, so basically this is just leading into my bottom pun. So can I just roll?
Go, roll it.
All right.
Roll it.
With my homies again. So my bottom bun is, this book is set in, like, 1817-ish England. However, in so many respects, it could have been 2020 USA. We are talking about, like, so many similar issues about, like, acceptance of trans people, about, like, how do you facilitate a relationship with someone who, even today in 2022, like, you can be trans and not go through surgery, right? Like, it just, every person who is on this journey can transition their physical body in any way that they wish to. Some people only take hormones. Some people choose top surgery only. Some people choose bottom surgery in addition to. It's all by the way, none of those are appropriate questions to ask any fucking person. Never ask anyone about that.
No, I don't. It's none of my business.
No, it's none of my business at all. And I'm not asking those questions, but I know that apparently people feel entitled to asking those questions based on TikTok, from what I've seen.
Also, this is the same people who actually, talk to people, like pregnant women, but like their babies and weddings. And I'm like, no.
Just stop it. Just stop it. It's none of your fucking business.
None ya.
None ya. But every person in 2022 every trans person is making those decisions for themselves.
Right.
In the 1800s, that wasn't a thing. We didn't have hormones that they were going to be taking.
Right.
They didn't. Surgery in that regard was certainly not a thing.
I mean, it really was the Danish girl, right? That was the first.
Yeah, I mean, one of them, right? Like, she was one of the first. She was the first person who actually had surgery.
It was the first successful.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So, and that was far after the 1800s. Was that early 1900s?
1920s. Yeah, 1920s, yeah.
So, however, in, like, let me actually pull up our review, because the review that we discussed for, we actually, did you post it? I forget.
NetGalley.
I'm on top of everything. Yeah. So, the NetGalley review that we wrote, I talked about this in here. What? I got it.
Do you need it?
I found it. One would hope in 2022 that we would see a trans woman and just, like, leave that woman alone. Like, she is a human being who is just living her life.
Well, like the Jeopardy lady.
Jeopardy lady?
Oh, there's been a champion on Jeopardy who's a trans woman. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You keep talking, I'll find her. Yeah.
Okay,
she's like
find her.
Fucking amazing. Yeah. Like, my mom's like, I love her. Yeah. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Like, we would hope in 22 that, like, most people would be like, okay, whatever. Like, live your truth, do your thing, like, be happy. Right. In the review, I talk about, like, the things that make her, like, quote, feminine, but the qualities that she possesses that are, quote, masculine. Like, Viola is every woman I've ever met. She has qualities that are, quote, masculine and, quote, feminine. We always have to remember that, like, that we're speaking in a binary in that. There are tons of qualities that are not masculine nor feminine, but we attribute them that way because of, like, what society tells us they should be. Like, when people are like, oh, you bought your daughter, like, clothes from the boys section. And I'm like, yeah, because the shorts are longer. That's literally why. And also,
most of my clothes are from men's because
shut the fuck up. Like, who cares? Yeah. Like, yeah, I absolutely have purchased my daughter clothes from the boys department, and I will not stop doing that. I don't fucking care.
I fucking love when little boys are like, I want a fucking princess skirt. I'm like, yes,
do that.
Yes,
wear a fucking princess skirt. At one point, like, we've had a lot of discussions in our house about like, you know, at some point, I think she said something about like how, that person has boy hair. And I was like, well, no, I mean, boys and girls can have whatever hair they want. Like, boys can have long hair and girls can have short hair. It doesn't matter. You know, like, that's not an indicator of someone's gender. It's just, that is what it is. And I know that that's something she heard at school. You know, like some kid being like, oh, that person has short hair, so that person's a boy, you know. And all of that is bullshit. But again, that goes back to, like, hate is taught. All of this, like, gender binary bullshit is taught. And something that I read, I don't remember if I was still pregnant or if she was really little, but I remember talking to Lee about, in particular, this BuzzFeed article that I had read that was about, and I don't remember the gender of this person, and so I'm going to use they, them, because I just don't remember and I want to be respectful. But this person was, like, in public, dressed in whatever the fuck they wanted to be dressed in. I think it was like a dress and makeup, but did not have like a quote traditionally feminine build. And so some kid like pointed at them and was like, "Mommy, that man is wearing a dress." And their point of the article was not, don't tell your kids to make comments about that shit. Their point was, that mom shut that kid down and said, it's not nice to stare, as opposed to saying, and isn't that dress pretty? Doesn't that lipstick look good on that person? You know, it wasn't like they were saying, it's not that like they're making comments about me. It's that child clearly had questions and you didn't even agree to answer them. You just shut that kid down immediately and said, don't stare at that person. And it was a perspective that I'd never considered. Because
agreed, but I'm going to argue a little bit about that one. Just because, like, not on a bad thing. It's just like, maybe they're not comfortable to answer those questions at that time. Like, does that make that person a bad person?
No, I'm not saying that. But, like, I took it as, like, an educational moment. Where, and he wasn't,
like, it's good.
Sorry, like, they weren't saying, like, you know, what that person was trying to convey was, like, don't like, just shut moment, your kid
I'm like,
down.
I might be just fucking buying it like a goddamn
they burrito, were at a pool.
And I don't want to have a fucking conversation about, like, this, but, like, at the same time, like, we'll talk about it later, but just please don't stare at that person. Let's just do this. Like,
I get that. And really, like, that mom's response was exactly my first instinct. But I'm glad that I read that, because then in my mind, like, what I have kept in mind ever since then is that if we are in a situation, of course, with COVID, we're rarely in a situation where we see humans. But, like, if we're in a situation where my kid is like, oh, that man looks like blah, blah, or like that woman looks like blah, blah. I turn that into a positive moment where I say something like, isn't that dress beautiful? I love the color of that dress. It really complements the color.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, just to turn it into like a positive thing of like, that person is wearing clothing that they feel comfortable in, that they love.
100%. But I don't think we should call that person, the other person out that like.
Oh no, and I don't think that the author was trying to do that. They were just saying like, well, a little bit. But I feel like the point of it was to be like, I get the instinct, but can you not? You know, like,
no, and I 100%
turn it around into something else.
Agreed.
Which I appreciated as a young
forward,
parent.
Yes. Agreed. Going forward, yes. Like, at the same time, like, that feeling, like, I would always feel about, like, every interaction I've ever felt, like, I'd be like, did I say this thing right? Oh my God. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean, and actually that person said, you know, maybe that kid wanted to ask me questions about why I'm dressed the way I am, and maybe I would have been fine in answering those questions. Now, I would never at any point be like, yeah, just go ask that person why they're wearing a fucking dress. Like, however, what they suggested was saying to the person, my child has questions about your dress, can they ask you questions about your dress? Is that okay?
That's
and
also
if not,
like, you know,
I don't think I would feel
forcing-
comfortable doing
No,
that.
because you're so forcing that person to be like, can you talk to my kid?
I
And
know.
if that,
Yeah, and I don't think I would do that. So what
No.
I do with my kid, and something that I think is really important, because as a child, I absolutely remember specific adults in my life making a lot of comments about like what women specifically looked like. That woman is fat. That woman has big thighs. That woman has gained a lot of weight. That woman should really put on real pants instead of sweatpants. You should never leave the house in sweatpants. That's not real clothing. Like things like that were clearly judgmental about specific people. And so in my household, that is not a fucking thing we discuss. We do not discuss how people look. We do not discuss how big they are, how small they are, ever. At any point in this house. Because I don't want my child to judge another person based on how they look.
Right.
So like when at one point our neighbors were helping us like move this a couple neighbors down, like gifted us this like rainbow play yard, which I never would have purchased for my child because they're stupid expensive. But it was like third hand me down. We moved it across 2 yards. So my CrossFit neighbors helped us like move it across 2 yards.
We yeeted it across your
We
yard.
yeeted it across 2 yards. And it was super fun, like watching it happen. But because they had to like disassemble part of it, but then they had to like move the big giant piece on its own. And so as they were like carrying things from like 1 yard across another into our yard, what I said to my daughter was, it's a married couple next door, like a hetero married couple next door to us. And so I would say like, look how strong she is to be able to carry that. Look how strong she is to be able to do the things that she's doing. That's really cool, isn't it? You know, I didn't make a single comment about like how skinny she was or like what she was wearing. I was just like, she's strong. That's really cool, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's awesome that she can do that with her body. And I think that that's really important. I'm getting off topic, but like, I think it's important in this conversation in 2022, just as much as it would have been important in the 1800s, and the issues that we face, not dissimilar.
Oh no, 100%.
You know, like I mentioned in let me find it. There's a section that I wrote like about all of the fucking things that we have dealt with that are very similar. PTSD, drug addiction, alcohol abuse, the LGBTQ community not being accepted, white men abusing their power, and women being treated as objects without brains or opinions. All of those things are motifs in this book.
Oh, 100%.
That we deal with on a fucking constant basis in this country. And I'm not going to speak for the world. I'm just saying in this country because that's where we live and that's our basis of knowledge. So like that's commonplace here, all of those things.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
As much as this book could have been set in 2022, it was just set in the 1800s. I think there is so much transferable and therefore so much relatable about this book that I think that even if you're not super into historical romance, there's plenty for you to relate to.
Yeah.
I think that the trans representation is just so beautiful.
I think so. I think from Jump Street, like it's just there's not a question. There's not like we walked into it and I was like, oh, okay, so this is this, and like I think the trigger warning was good and you could set it up and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to go into, and then Alexis is just like, and this is this. This is how it is. And I'm like, okay, cool. And like you just accept and you move on.
Yep.
And you're like, this is a woman, and she's had some serious issues, and you move on.
Yep. And this is just who she is.
Yep.
The end.
Yep.
Darling, what is your bottom bun?
Miranda, for fuck's sake.
She's amazing.
I've been wanting to talk about this bitch for a while. So, fucking Justin's sister, Miranda, is amazing. I don't know what to say. Like, she's quirky as fuck. Like, she's just...
Yeah, she really is.
We could just... All we're going to do is read quotes about Miranda and or her own quotes.
My favorite quotes from Miranda, though, I feel like are a big giveaway. So I don't know that I want to read them.
I'm good.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay. So first is the newcomer's gaze traveled dreamily over the breakfasters. Oh, Justin, you're out of bed, and Auntie Lou, how lovely to see you. This is Miranda. Mira, darling, Lady Marley said, offering her cheek for a kiss. What in God's name are you wearing? Her reason's not really apparent to Viola. Lady Miranda was dressed in a gown from the last century, a vast skirted creation, all ruffles and bows, with a waterfall of lace at the sleeves and a petticoat of lurid embroidered roses. This? I found it in the attic. I thought it was pretty. You look like a shepherdess in a pastoral. Lady Miranda thought for a moment. Thank you? No, it's not even a thank. It's not a question. Thank you. Not a compliment. Returned Lady Marley. Now sit down. We're talking about your future. Yep. I mean, I could just. There's just so many that she's so. There's times where she's mutton-headed, and then there's time where she's like
mutton-headed.
She's like, she's on it. Like she knows what she's doing.
She's very intelligent.
She's very intelligent, but she's like
and very clever.
Oh, and that's the whole thing with what does Miranda want? Oh, here we go. This is what I used for our review of this. Yes, but I have some standards, Lady Lilimir's lip curled. I have no idea what could possibly produce a creature like Miranda. A grand and noble family? Asked Viola, earning a snort of laughter. More like 6 wild unicorns, a rose that blooms only at midnight, and 3 barrels of sky dust. My point is she's who she is, and I have absolutely no wish to ruin her.
Yep.
You had one, and I have one. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, this one. Miranda, Gracewood said, may I introduce you, Augustus St. Clair, to you? She considered this. I don't know, can you? I would very much like to. Gracewood's lips were switching. St. Clair, this is my sister, Lady Miranda. Mr. St. Clair executed a very proper bow. It is my pleasure, Lady Miranda, and may I in turn present my own sister, who I believe was not formally introduced at your recent event. I'm Lydia, said the young woman at her side, a little flatly. Her brother seemed to be unaware that he was squeezing the bridge of his nose sparingly. Lydia, please, this is the Duke of Gracewood's sister. Be civil. I am being civil. She turned large and imploring eyes on her brother. These matters are complicated. Because you're friends with Miss Avon? Asked Miss Miranda, a little hurt. There are rules, you see, and must pick rules. And
must pick sides? Is that what it says?
Yes. Sides, yes.
Ridiculous.
There's more to it, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, I know. But, ridiculous.
Yeah. I know you want to read some.
Well, I don't, because I don't want to give anything away. Because my favorite Miranda quotes happen, at the end. You know?
I know there's another one. Maybe not.
Miranda is very... Oh,
yes, no,
I know.
You had the one. You had one.
Okay.
Yes, I told you to stop. Yes.
So, Miranda, this is the first... Is this the first real ball, or is this the card party? It's the first real ball. Yeah. Okay, so, of course, if you're not into historical romances, ladies who are, introduced into society might have, a dance card, in which case, it literally is a card that hangs from their wrist that, men would have written their names on. And so she is trying to figure out who she's supposed to dance with next. And she says, Lord, dear me, that could say anything. Lord Wankerbunk? Winterbank, murmured Gracewood with a valiant attempt at solemnity.
I definitely texted Veronica with that.
Wankerbunk.
Yeah.
And actually,
Miranda
they just keep calling him that occasionally.
Yep. I mean, Mira is amazing. I think
Mira's
she's
amazing.
great. She's a great character. Like, she's just, like, through the whole book, she starts simple and dumb and you love her, and you end with simple and dumb and you love her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would call her dumb, but, like, she's very quirky. She's just...
I don't say dumb. Like, she's, like... I wouldn't say, not vacuous, but that's not the same. It's the same thing as dumb. But no, vacuous. It's like there's not a lot upstairs. Like, it's just not like not dumb. Like, you can still be like not like a lot upstairs, but you can still be kind of smart. But like she's just there's a lot. I don't know.
She's clearly very thoughtful, but you're right. Like she might lack some synapses.
A little bit. I think quirky is probably the best word.
Yeah,
to
I think
describe
that's
her.
fair. I think that's very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so would our mothers be embarrassed by this book?
Oh, I don't think they would. Maybe the one scene would embarrass them, but I think overall, not so much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Would you recommend this book?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I recommend anything that Alexis Hall writes.
Yeah. Even like a menu for the local whatever.
Probably, yeah. Like, because everything would be described beautifully.
Yeah, it would.
It would. Yeah. And I'd want to eat everything on the menu just because of the way that it was described.
Agreed.
That would be an undervalue of his talent, but still.
Right. He's like, I could be doing something else.
Like, I could be writing the next great American novel, but that's cool. I will instead write this menu
for the local whatever.
For the local restaurants on the block. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I'm sure that's a good use of his time. Shall we take a very brief respite, come back and discuss ratings and what we've been reading otherwise?
How about we come back in 101?
I love you.
I love you too. 1 and 1.
And we're back.
We're back, bitches! You love it? I love it.
I was like, let's try and keep it quick. It's getting late. And so therefore we ended up with a very truncated countdown.
What?
What? Offended by your delicate sensibilities.
It's cool.
Are offended. Cool. Okay, so here's a quick recap on how we do ratings on this show.
Are you just about it?
I am just about it.
Don't choke with that jizz in your mouth.
That, and also when we talk about like ghosts, like the lady falling, the hero falling in love with a ghost during No Trespassing.
Ghosted.
Those are like my favorite moments from the show.
Oh my god. So a friend of mine met Giorgio from Ancient Aliens.
I can't handle that.
His hair isn't crazy like that. She said his hair wasn't crazy. I was like,
that's incredible.
Here's some videos to show him. One was we were talking about like Ghosted and how he was gonna fall in love with a ghost. Mm-hmm. But
just your next I don't know, sci-fi series, right?
Yeah, right.
So how we do ratings on this show is that we rate spiciness on a level of eggplants, and hearts is our romance level. So
how romantical was it?
Did it burn the cockles of your cold dead heart? At least mine. My cold dead heart. So anywho, do you want to begin with eggplants, my love? Hit me in the face with some eggplants.
Let's do hearts first.
Oh, okay.
We always
do we? I don't remember. This is our show. We do whatever the fuck we want.
Let's do hearts first.
Okay. Do you want to go first? How many hearts do you give this book? Did it burn the cockles of your heart?
It burned the cockles and the little tiny parts in between. It was, it was 4.
Yeah, I said 4 too. Because Grace, what is the
Grace is
most
fucking the
romantical.
baller.
He is so
Yes.
fucking amazing. He's like, yes,
my
I
God.
will accept you for who you are because I am in love with your soul.
I will stick it in. You can stick it in. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Logistics. I'm
love
open
it.
to it, you know? Like,
time is a flat circle.
it is. And, you know, he encompasses it. So,
It's fine.
so anyway, I also said 4. How do you feel
Yes.
about eggplants? Hit me in the face with some eggplants.
Eggplants. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay, I said 3, but like there's only like the one scene, but like that is the most graphic that I think we'll ever get from Alexis Hall.
Oh wait, eggplants. Yeah, no. Hold on, 3.
Okay.
Oh, I'm thinking. Okay, yeah.
Hearts, see? 4. Yeah, so eggplants, I said 3. It's like this is pretty graphic for Alexis Hall.
Agreed, because I told Veronica, I was like, so this is like, you know, like Alexis Hall, like.
Yeah, this is the first. I mean, we read boyfriend material.
There's none.
I mean, it's like fade to black.
Nunzos. Yep.
Like it's a beautiful description of it, but there's no
Agreed.
graphic
actually,
content.
I would actually I might move it to 2. I might move.
Oh,
it
really?
To 2.
Okay. The only reason I said 3 was like there, and I don't want to give anything away, but like there's description of physical movement and where things are going,
Yep.
which like does not happen in boyfriend material necessarily. I think in boyfriend material there was like description of physical body, like positioning.
Would be, like, right the middle.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
And it's just like, I mean, like sex is mentioned other times.
Yeah, 2 would be fade to black. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
But like, you know, it is pretty hot. And honestly, like,
Oh my God.
beautiful. Like it's
The whole thing.
beautiful.
I'm inside of you is like,
Yes.
ah! Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
quite beautiful.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right. So I guess that's ratings.
We moved to
right?
stunt casting.
Oh my God. Okay. Why don't
So-
you start? Who do you want to start with?
Okay, so stunt casting is we've picked some celebrities that we
Mm-hmm.
think would be fitting for the leads in our book.
Yep.
I picked 3.
Okay. I did too.
Okay. Do you want me to do the person you did not do?
Yes. Go for it.
Okay. So I did Miranda.
Wait, I picked 3. How many did you pick?
I just said 3.
And I said
you
me too.
I thought you said 2. I did 2.
Oh, no, sorry. I said me too.
Okay.
As in hashtag. Oh, me too. Like, I picked.
Okay. So
It's midnight, you guys.
God, Jesus Christ. Let's do Viola first.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, cool. I'll do Viola first. Jesus H Christ. Okay. So I'm putting what we do is we release it to each other like we're it's like a
We like to surprise each other. We don't tell each other who we cast prior to this moment. So I'm finding out with the rest of you.
yeah, like it's like it's the red band version of a fucking like movie trailer.
Oh.
So-
okay. Okay.
So, okay, god damn it. Okay, this is the last one I want to pick. Okay, hold on. So this is the one I was like, okay, cool. So, for Viola, I was like, I want someone who's like, this is the first time I was like imagining a woman who's like fully ensconced in her sexuality and who she is like fully, what's the word I'm thinking of?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
She is her. She is like it's
She's like living her truth.
Exactly. Is Madeline Stowe from fucking
She's beautiful.
oh yeah, from The Last of the Mohicans. I will find you. So, yeah, I mean, god damn it.
She's beautiful.
Her hair's big and just dark haired and curly and I love it.
Yep. I wish. my hair. Would do anything close to that.
Yeah. That is my Viola.
All right.
I will find you.
I will find you. Which could be threatening or not. All right. Listen, hear me out. Okay? And I want to preface this with, like, I identify, like, if I had to pick a celebrity that I was like, my body looks like hers, or like my body has the potential to look like hers, this actress is, I think, it. And I believe I have actually chosen her before, and I don't care. Like, you know, people take multiple roles. All right. Don't give me any hate for this bullshit. I think she's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, but it's fine.
I mean, here's the thing. So
I actually thought about it for a second.
Did you?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I chose Florence Pugh. And the reason I love Florence Pugh so much is that, like, she has a medium build. Like, she's thin because Hollywood requires her to be. But, like...
She's compact.
She's... Yes. And she's not, like, a stick figure like most of Hollywood is. She has muscle on her body. She has a medium build, which would mean, like, if you took, like, if you wrapped your fingers around your wrist, like, your thumb and your middle finger would, like, barely overlap, or, like, just a little bit. Whereas, like, if you had a small build, they would overlap a lot. If you have a large build, they wouldn't overlap necessarily.
Right.
So, like, that's something that I had to learn about myself. That, like, I was never going to look like Britney Spears, for example, because, like, that's just not how my body is built. So when I look at Florence Pugh, I'm like, that is a woman who looks like how my body could look. Like, that body to me is representative of me, and I don't think that I have, like, the most feminine body. I
think, you know, you and I should just, like, so... We've used these people before. I think that's the issue. It's like we are weirded out by it, that we've used these people before. But I'm like, you know what? We have, but it just works. Yeah, like, I think, like, she's fucking gorgeous, but is not like your typical Hollywood starlet. Right.
Which I love about her. I mean, she doesn't, like, she looks like a person to me, and not like, I don't know. Emma Watson is, like, ridiculously tiny. No, she's... You know? Like... She's like a fucking... Like, yeah, Lilliputian. Yeah. Yeah, you know? Like, so if you just... To me, Florence Pugh looks like a normal person, which made me think, like, this person would be more fitted for a role like this. Agreed. So, like, it's not a commentary on, like, what I think a trans woman should look like. Like, it's nothing to do with that. It's just that, like, she looks like a normal person to me. And is also just fucking gorgeous. Agreed. Anywho, please, who do you want to do next? Do you want to do Miranda next or Grace Wood next? Yeah, let's do Miranda. Okay, let's do it. Hold on. Wait a minute. I thought I saved one more. I guess not. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't understand. Like, okay, so hold on. So my Miranda, I'm super excited because I love her so much. Hold on. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, yep. So I'm going to see if I have any more of those now. So my Miranda is fucking Juno Temple. Mm-hmm. From fucking Ted Lasso. Juno Temple. Mm-hmm. Yes. From Ted Lasso. Also, yes. She could still be, like, in her 20s. That woman. Well, she's so, like, on the cusp because she also was in, what was that horrible, with, talking about Eric Bana. Eric Bana, played,
Oh,
Meadowland.
Dirty.
Dozen.
No.
Laundry.
No.
Men. I don't know. I'm just saying random words.
Dirty John. Dirty John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she played one of the daughters from Dirty John. Yeah. And yeah, like she was amazing in it. Like she's in like she's supposed to be like 20 something years old. Like she's actually 32 or something, but she's adorable.
She is she was born in 1989, so she is 34. Oh, nope, 32. I can do math.
Yeah. She's adorable. Like I
She
love
is.
her so
She's
much.
beautiful.
But like she's perfect for fucking Miranda.
Yeah, I can
Like,
totally see that.
You can see her and be like, yeah, cool.
Like that quirky kind of like, yeah, I get that.
Well, I texted Veronica. I was like, I had the perfect fucking Miranda. I'm so excited. Like, I love Juno Temple. Like, she's one of those ones where I was like, am I gay? Possibly.
Possibly. I mean, you know, at the very least, bi at this point. I mean, you know.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Not even ashamed of it. Okay, so this person, I don't remember if you've watched this show or not. I'm pretty excited. There is a new season coming up. I could have sworn I chose another photo as well, but I can't find it right now, so I must not have actually saved it properly. Regardless, I chose Maya Hawke, who is Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Holy shit. God, she's gorgeous.
I know, and she plays a character on Stranger Things.
Wait, who is this? This is
She actually plays a lesbian character, or at least a bisexual character, but I think she's lesbian in the most recent season 3 of Stranger Things. She works in the ice cream shop.
Yes. Yes, Ahoy. Yes.
Yes, Ahoy.
Yes.
So she is in there. But she's legitimately good. Like, I mean, there's some degree of nepotism in Hollywood across all boundaries, but like, she's legitimately a good actress. She's Ethan Hawke's daughter. Totally gorgeous. Hint of red hair.
This is Miranda, correct?
Yep, Miranda.
Okay, cool. I love it. I love it.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Oh my God, do I love it. Yes.
Yeah. And she's like pretty quirky.
Scoops Ahoy.
Scoops Ahoy. There it is.
Yep, there you go.
She's like pretty quirky in general.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Because
figured
there's the whole thing with her and what's his face, where she's like, he kind of likes her, and she's like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
like,
They're like in the bathroom together, and she's
yes.
like, I liked the same girl you did. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which I don't like. I feel so bad for fucking what's his name?
I don't remember. I forget his name.
I feel bad for him. He's like, I can't win.
Can't win.
I can't win. Every season I lose the girl. It's fine.
I mean, he eventually gets the girl, doesn't it? I don't know.
He can win this girl right there.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
He's adorable.
He is very adorable. I do love that hair. Anywho, new episodes coming out soon. Very excited.
Yep.
The 4th season is split into 2 parts. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, it's split into 2 parts.
Cool.
Yeah. Very excited. Very excited.
Do you know what comes out this week?
No.
Obi-Wan
Oh, wow.
Kenobi.
Okay. Maybe I should watch Empire Strikes Back one day. It's on my list.
I like how you look at me like, should I? I'm like, yeah, you should.
I was trying to look up that character's name. Steve Harrington.
Yep.
That's his name. Yep.
Cool.
And what's her name? She plays Robin Buckley.
Cool.
Anywho, Gracewood. That's who we have left.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it me first? Okay, it's me first. So here's the first picture, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Fantastic.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
You will like, so there's that one.
Oops.
How do you feel about that picture?
He needs a shower.
There you go. There you go. Oh, look, there's a shower.
Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay. Interested.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you still interested?
Of course I am. Jesus, God.
And lastly...
Oh my God. This first comment that shows up when I pull this up is sexual, and the response to it is, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
So most of the pictures I picked were from Jane Eyre, but I'm so sorry. It's Michael Fassbender. It is from Michael Fassbender from Jane Eyre, and the so it's like it's from the end of Jane Eyre where like the whole fucking house is burnt down, and he's just like a fucking wreck of a man, and his beard is so big, and he's blind, and then it's to him where he's fucking Michael Fassbender, who I want to ride his face. So there you go.
Like a jet ski, maybe?
Like a jet ski. Yep.
Oh, God. I do, in my adulthood, want to reread Jane Eyre, because as a high schooler, I did not enjoy it. But I feel like as an adult, I might.
Yes. Yes. It's like... Because I think the whole point of her, like, leaving him and going and running the school by herself and running the whole, like, I think that whole point needs to be, like, you need that to understand why she's like, I need myself, I need my whole, like, my build to be an independent person. Yeah. So yeah.
Lissai. All right, listen. I chose a dude I've never heard of before in my life.
Cool.
Mainly,
cool.
I searched, like, I was looking for, like, actors with, like, blonde-ish hair and blue eyes. And I would say both of those are questionable.
Okay.
With this actor, however, I don't care. Because, honestly, here's what did it for me. Like, I looked at him and I was... So often, Viola...
Uh-huh.
So often Viola describes him, like, she talks about his, like, the ducal nature of him, of, like, that authority that he kind of cloaks over himself.
Right.
And, like, that look about him, that he could have only, she described it as, like, he only could have gotten it from genes. And so when I saw this person, he plays, he was in one of the Center Stage movies, although, like, not the original. Mm-hmm. My point is, he's been in, like, ballet-themed movies. And so, therefore, he's, like, trained to carry his body in certain ways. Do you know what I mean?
You carry my body, yep.
Carry your body? Okay, cool. Sounds good. You can carry mine, too. Here you go. This dude... is, again, never heard of him before in my life until I started looking. Oops.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
This is John Mulaney.
It's not John Mulaney.
It
looks a little like him, but it is not John Mulaney. This person's name is Barton Cowperthwaite.
That's a name.
It is a name.
That's a name.
It is
He's
a
attractive.
name.
He's
Don't
attractive.
wear it out.
Don't wear it out.
That last
He's
one,
attractive.
I think, is my favorite. He is attractive.
Barton Catherwaite. Headshot.
Can you do the cherry pop sound? Because I can't. There you go. Okay, so he has... Oh, God fucking damn it. Why, IMDb? Did you go all the way back to the beginning of time? Barton. How many Bartons are there? Cowperthwaite. Okay. he was in... Don't laugh at me. He was in Center Stage On Point, which I have not seen. I saw the OG to Center Stage. He was also a dancer in Fosse Verdon, which is a TV miniseries. He was also, I think the thing he's known the most for is Tiny Pretty Things. I don't know what that is, but apparently that was the most, I don't know, successful. Also in Girls 5 Eva, which I have not seen, but he plays a character called Boy Band Dummy, which is never not going to be funny to me. And then he's in a TV movie called Imposters. Anyway, he's like relatively new.
He's a young boy.
He's 28, baby.
Older than Harry Styles. Pretty sure.
Oh, fuck me.
I mean, you can look. I'm pretty sure he's older than Harry Styles.
Barton. Wait. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Barton. We're just going to call him Barton. He's 29 years old. He is
28. Yep.
20.
Yep.
Is he still 28? No, he's 29. He'll be 30 this
Harry
year.
Harry Styles is 28 years old. Boom! Yeah, and he will not be 29 until February 1st.
Of next year?
Yes!
I guess it couldn't be February 1st of this year, because that would be awkward.
Right.
Well, son of a bitch. Good for you, Olivia Wilde.
Oh, right. God damn it.
Fucking hell.
All right, so...
Anywho...
Let's talk about books we want to recommend.
Shall we?
We shall.
Okay. I can go first. I guess mine is first on the list. Okay, so this is super fun about my employer is that we have started like a book club at work. And so once a month-ish, once every 6 weeks maybe, we at like lunchtime talk about the book we've been reading together. So we just started this. This was the first month. We just did the first book club meeting. We read a book called True Biz by Sara Novic, not sure. It's a book about the deaf community. It is fascinating as hell.
I love it.
It is super fascinating to learn about deaf culture.
I want to learn ASL so bad.
I also want to learn ASL so bad. When babies are little, like that's something that they encourage you to start teaching babies so they can learn how to communicate better. So like something that we taught our kid a lot was the sign for more, which is to like basically bang your fists together to like more food. I want more food.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Like, there's all sorts of like little things that you can teach. There was like, I think this is mom and this is dad or vice versa.
Yep.
So those were ones that we were working on with her. Of course, once she got language, like English language, then of course that kind of all went away. Regardless, it's really fascinating. I'm about 80% of the way through it. I didn't finish it prior because we had so many books to read for our own podcast. And I had to stop so I could read this book. It is good. Again, it has some pacing issues. However, I think if her publisher would have given her another 20,000 words, she would have been fine. But they didn't. This is only her second novel, but it is well written. As a person in their mid to late 30s reading a book about high school students, like here's the thing, it's multiple people. There's adults and then there's also kids because it's a deaf school that this surrounds, right? Okay. So like you get the perspective of the headmistress, who's probably in her 30s or 40s, who is gay, by the way. She's a lesbian. She is married to a woman. She is hearing, so is her wife, but her parents are deaf, and so she works at a deaf school. She's known ASL her whole life. Regardless, it takes place in Ohio and in southern Ohio. So like it's east of Cincinnati. But it was fun for me as like an Ohioan who, has been around to like read the references and like catch the references, even though it's sort of like an amalgamation of Ohio cities. So like Goodyear is mentioned a lot. And, you know, Goodyear is obviously like an Akron-based company and things like that. So it's clearly like an amalgamation of things happening. The race riots in Cincinnati from 2000, I think it was 2002, were mentioned. It's really fascinating. But as a person who now has a child, I was like, oh my God, the things that I did when I was in high school, and now I'm going to like have a kid who's going to potentially do some of these things when she's in high school. I was like, well, I'm just going to have to up those anti-anxiety meds. I think is what's going to need to happen. Mostly I was like, my parents would have never, you know, like they would have absolutely found out. There's no way I could have slipped under the radar with all this shit. Never. No. Anyway, so True Biz, which apparently in ASL, that means for like real talk. That's what that means.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So I have two that I'm not going to go into because they are, I've written fucking reviews on them. So one is the Bride Goes Rogue, and the other one is the Dukes Do It Better. So go to our
website.
Yeah.
That thing. All right. What are you listening to? Because I have just been listening to Knowledge Fight.
So I'm listening to horrible horror, which actually at this point, it's fine. Oh, damn it, I had open. The last episode is... Damn you.
Should I insert the Jeopardy music? Do, 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 do,
is the Phantom of the Mall. So, it's the same thing as if you like B3, you like this group. So,
booze, boobs, and blood.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Love a good horror podcast. All right, so let's talk about where people can find us. You can find us on our website at www.chickletbookclubpodcast.com. We have a link on the website to our merch. Otherwise, you can go to chickletbookclubpodcast.threadless.com. You can check us out on Twitter at chickletpodcast. Check us out on TikTok, Chicklet Book Club, Pinterest, where you can check out our spanking audio lists and our stunt casting, Chicklet Book Club Podcast. Email us your constructive criticism at chickletbookclubpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Chicklet Book Club Podcast. Our YouTube is linked, so is our Facebook. And you can also support us at Patreon at whatever level you feel comfortable as, which have all been named after our favorite book boyfriends. And of course, please, if you are enjoying the podcast, rate us and review us, specifically on the Apple Podcast app.
Yep.
All right. Ray?
Yeah.
How do we end this thing?
The most annoying way possible.
Ah, yes. Bye.
Bye.
It always cuts out. Every single time. Yeah,